In the mystic world of Vedic astrology, where the cosmic and the human destiny intertwine, the role of an astrologer is akin to walking on a precarious path. This path is always referred to as a razor's edge. My dear viewers, I welcome you all to this insightful exploration of the astrologer's profession, where we will unravel the intricate balance between cosmic wisdom and human responsibility. Join me on this journey as we delve deeper into the depths of the stars and planets to understand why being an astrologer is a delicate dance on the edge of destiny itself. Since last 3 years, I have been studying this astrology, and I often come across so many questions from seekers. Everybody's question is unique. Everybody comes to me with a different problem. I cannot compare one's problem with others' problem. So I want to make a video. So what I always used to confuse or not able to understand what an astrologer exactly has to check in a horoscope. So I prepared a checklist, which we can call it as a handbook of an astrologer. I don't mind if you think it as a checklist, but this list is not exclusive list, but it is an inclusive list. Let me discuss some points with you where an astrologer must consider some points while studying a chart. Now I want to discuss those points with you. First, the astrologer has to check whether there is a promise of the event is there in the horoscope or not. Say, for example, if somebody asked about a marriage, astrologer has to check whether the promise of marriage is there in the natal chart or not. Somebody asks about a foreign travel, then astrologer has to check about whether his cosmic planets, whether the position of the cosmic bodies is indicating a foreign travel or not, a foreign education, or a discharge from a hospital, or becoming a pilot. Somebody asked me whether he becomes a pilot or not. We have to check the proper planet's alignment or not. The planet's alignment indicates so or not. So this is what called as a promise in the natal chart. Next question. Next thing, what astrologer has to check is the Prashna chart. Every astrologer has to cast a Prashna chart first. Prashna chart means at what time the question is asked, astrologer has to cast a Prashna chart for that time. This chart reveals whether the seeker is genuine on his part or he is asking just to test the astrologer. Then the astrologer has to check whether the natal chart and the Prashna chart are speaking the same language or not. Here two permutations will come. One promise will be there in the natal chart and the Prashna chart will not speak the same language, or Prashna chart promises the event whereas the natal chart will not promise the event. This is where astrologer has to use his diligence, then judge the event. Now the next important point is Lagna, the rising, the ascendant. Next, Lagna Lord. He has to study the dignity of the Lagna Lord. Next comes Rasi, where moon is posited at the time of the birth. The Lord of the Rasi, where moon is posited. Astrologer has to study the relation between the Rasi and Lagna. If any planets are exalted, if any planets are debilitated, and astrologer has to study the birth nakshatra. Every nakshatra is assigned certain qualities. Say for example, the person who born in Aswin nakshatra will have certain qualities. The person whose ascendant is say Sagittarius will have certain qualities. The person whose loss is Cancer, he will have certain qualities. The person whose birth star is Aslesha, he will have certain qualities. Astrologer has to carefully study all these things, and next he has to next only he has to come to one understanding about the person. Next he has to start Tajika chart, yearly chart astrologer has to study. This chart is also called as Tajika chart. And next comes Dasa. Which Dasa is running? Again, I am not going to discuss that Dasa part. We usually use Vimsottari Dasa period, which Dasa is going on. And astrologer also has to study two other Dasas called as Kala Chakra Dasa and Yogini Dasa. All these Dasas must speak the same language. Next, astrologer has to check who is the Yoga Karaka, both from Lagna and the moon. Next, Brigabindu point, the Brigabindu is a sensitive point between Rahu and moon. Astrologer has to study this. Next comes Latta. Latta concept. There is a concept called Latta. Astrologer has to study this. Next, 22nd Rakana, 64th Navamsa, 88th Pada, Vilika and Mandi, that astrologer has to study. Next, astrologer has to study the 10th house and 10th lord. The dignity of the 10th house and 10th lord as well. Next, the astrologer has to study Astakavarga and Shadbala. And most important point, the karmic influence. What kind of karmic influence that person is having? This astrologer can study by position of Rahu and Ketu. Next, the astrologer has to study the paryayas of Jupiter and Saturn. Jupiter takes one 12 years for making one round around this natal chart, whereas Saturn takes 30 years to go around once around this zodiac. Next, the astrologer has to check whether somebody is undergoing any Sade Sati, the 7.5 year Saturn's period. Next, the astrologer has to study Varga charts. Next, the astrologer has to study a Chitra Grahas. Next, there is one important point, planets in their Marana Karaka Sthana. With this, I want to close this part 1 of this video. I will come back to you with next set of combinations what astrologer has to check. Thank you for watching.